and I figure I'd record this just in case it works. While that's going on, what I'm doing is on my music channel. If you ever look at it or if you ever get my messages, I uploaded a video of this singer from back in the old days, this Nina Simone, black American, African American, I don't know what the right word is. Anyway, singing that song Feelings. And it's a very emotional kind of roller coaster ride, the video itself. Just as a one song. And I got kind of interested in learning more about this character. And actually, I haven't gone to wiki or anything, but what I did was I found online. I found a copy of that entire performance, including the song, which is in Montreux. That's Sweden, I think. It's not France. It's something like Sweden or Finland or something. She says it. Oh well, no, that's something Wiki can help with. Anyway, this Nina Simone, she was in with the whole crowd. And in her day, David Bowie, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, I don't know, all those people that were making music and sort of writing the script of the social revolution that was going on at that time. Nina Simone, that's one of her famous performances. I don't think she wrote it. Well, come on. I just want to, if I'm more interested in the Montreux Jazz Festival. Now, this video is, in fact, the one that I modified and uploaded. Now there's this other one here. See, it's an hour and 15 minutes long. And that's the one I found the original AVI for, not by downloading it from YouTube. Now, where is that festival? Let's see it. And so she was heavily involved with drugs and all that stuff that was going on at the same time. You know, who the hell is this damn festival? And it looks like she was trying to acquire like asylum there. Montreux. Wait, I'm looking at. I gotta get rid of Nina. On the festival name. And because she keeps saying during the performance, that I would love to stay if you'll have me, or something like that. Whoops. Montreux Jazz Festival. That's sort of text. So I can sneak in there. There we go. Switzerland. Okay, that was close. I think I did mention that in one of my guesses. Uh, and yeah, and so she mentions some of them. She mentions Joplin, uh, and she mentions David Bowie. She even asks if he's in the audience because apparently David Bowie was uh, had taken refuge in Switzerland as well at that time. Uh, David Bowie, if you don't know, is also a very famous musician from the 70s, 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. In fact, David Bowie became famous during the 1960s, and through the BBC. The BBC was covering the Apollo moonshot, and David Bowie was invited to sing his song, the one, Major Tom, ground control to Major Tom, whatever, something to do with going into space, right? On the BBC News show, and you wouldn't believe it, but they actually lost. I know this because I talked to someone who worked there, and they lost that recording. It was recorded, and they lost it because they're totally disorganized there over there. They just throw all their stuff in some back room, and it gets tossed out. Anyway, so that's where his fame. He was famous in England, but his world fame sort of started with that television performance. Now, who else did she mention? She mentions a story called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. That's just a story. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Well, in any case, she had gone to, as many people were doing it in those days. She's from her family anyway is from Liberia, and so she went to sort of find her roots in Liberia, and that show, that performance, this one was supposed to be her last performance. She said at festivals, and then she's going to graduate to something on a higher plane or something or other like that. I don't know exactly. She is young, so being a young person, one tends to think that they can make great big decisions like that and stick to it. But of course, the weight of time is much stronger than anything you might happen to be thinking as a youngster. And she eventually did go back to doing jazz festivals. I mean, that's her thing. I think she wanted to go and live in Liberia or somehow get out of the States because she was getting her first taste of not being oppressed. Right? You have to remember in the 1960s, the United States, maybe it still does, but widely had laws prohibiting African Americans or blacks from very simple things, There was a famous case of a woman who disobeyed the law that black people have to sit at the back of the bus, right? She was an old lady, and she was tired, and she didn't want to sit at the back of the bus. And she said that she's not going to sit in the back; she's going to sit in the front. And she that eventually led to the revocation of that and many other laws. So there were segregated toilets, in normal places. Blacks and whites weren't to mix. Segregated school systems. There were black schools and there were white schools, and that was really just the United States, as far as I know. I guess South Africa you would include as well, but South Africa was colonized, really, right? The white South Africans moved in and created the country, South Africa, the country, as a kind of colony. I mean, imagine calling. It's big, but it's a country, Republic of South Africa, founded by white people. I mean, as far as I know, isn't that the history of it? They speak English, right? It used to be minority English, but they control everything. And as like English-speaking Europeans that moved in their history. Prehistoric. No, how about the political history, like the Republic? Nelson Mandela. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you saw in the States as well, for use by whites only, that sort of thing. Even in Canada, actually, where I'm from, black people were suppressed. The very top-notch golf courses, where I used to go and make money when I was a child or a teenager, caddying for rich golf players, who were members of very exclusive clubs, and none of those clubs permitted black members. You simply were not allowed to. If you were, I don't know if they came out and said it in those words. If you wanted to become a member of their club, whatever, a golf club, they call them golf clubs because they're clubs. They have a membership, and you're allowed to join or not, depending on the decision of some kind of committee, right? It's not a free and open thing anyone can join. It's not like the YMCA. Even Jews can join the YMCA. Anyway, now this is taking a lot longer than I expected. What I'm trying to do right now is to take I found that video of the entire show here online as an AVI file, a small video. And what I'm trying to do is repeat the same mistake I made with that Leonard Cohen thing, where I rescaled it to the wrong size, right? And then I mucked around with the color saturation and then rescaled and then did some cropping so that there was a slight resizing as well. And somehow it came out really great and clear, like high definition clear. And I've tried a lot of different approaches, but I'm feeling pretty confident on this one. But right now it's the first of two passes, so maybe I'll pause this and we'll see what happens. I want to reconstruct how, if it works. I've saved, the settings, but I'd like to do it again and show you. So I'll pause this now. Oh, sorry, I didn't get to finishing my story. Anyway, so she shows up at this concert, thinking that she's gone to Africa and she's become liberated. She's tasted freedom, and so she wants to move to Switzerland. But at the same time, she's highly intoxicated while performing this show, and I don't mean drunk. She's taken some kind of probably a hallucinogenic drug, maybe LSD or something like that, some sort of hallucinogen. Is that the right word? Hallucinogen or hallucinogen? In any case, at several points during her talking, she is hallucinating. She's hallucinating that she's having a discussion with someone else, and then she realizes, oh my God, I'm hallucinating. You can tell it's in her face. Oh my God, I'm hallucinating. And let's get back to what I was doing. And it's really quite, if you watch it in that light, it's really quite funny. It's not so serious as it would appear just watching that other one. She's really, really high, and thinks that she's on the verge of a great life change, right? And that she's going to drop all of it, and this is therefore her very last performance ever, right? And so she puts everything that she's got into it, and that's what makes it a great performance. Never mind that it wasn't her last performance; that doesn't matter. She thought it was, and so she really put so much emotion and feeling into it that it's quite a striking event to witness. Okay, well now I'll pause. Well, and back again. I guess it didn't really work as well as as with that other thing. It didn't come out too bad. It's smooth, but there's a lot of blockiness, which I'd hope would smooth out with the stretching and increase the color saturation. It looks about as good as I would have thought if I hadn't tried that. Although, here's an example of her. She's, like I said, she's on some kind of hallucinogen, and at this point, it seems like she thinks she's talking to somebody over like a ham radio or something, having a discussion. Oh, you can't hear it. She says, I hear some other music. And it sounds, she's talking to someone at this point, and then she says, can you hear those noises? Can you hear all those other noises? And then she's, you can hear all those noises. Oh, I wish I could answer it. And then right now, she realizes she was hallucinating the whole thing. It's quite funny because I know I've experienced that sort of thing myself. You realize, oh my God, none of that just happened. I was dreaming it. Anyway, it's quite an interesting thing to watch, and I don't know if I can clean this up any better. I mean, the image quality is okay. It's clear enough. You know, it's a little fuzzy, but yeah, I mean, from given what it started with, it's about as good as you're gonna get. Now I tried before darkening it slightly to get rid of the little chunks and things that you can't. That you darken it by 1%, and it just everything disappears, right? All the whole image disappears. It's all within a very, very narrow range. That's why I thought increasing well, actually, maybe now that I've increased the color depth, I might be able to change the darken it. Let's see. That's the one. See, so all here, it's not an exactly black. There's a fade from black to very, very slightly less, like a brown color. If I see, I've got this increase of color saturation with no actual color change. Now, it disappears after about 3 steps. No, 5, 6. It's almost gone. Now it's gone. But there might be enough extra color that it just doesn't blacken out the entire image. You see, there are a lot of strange artifacts in this, but you don't notice them so much. See that? Now you see what's happened here. Well, it may not be visible to you. It's gotten too dark. But, well, this shot doesn't matter so much. It's more around here where you lose like so much of the image that you can't see her hair anymore. And here, she is actually wearing something, and there is an outline of the back, but it's so faint. Okay. Whoops. Quite good. Increase. It's coming. But it comes with the garbage. This is at the border, and there's the garbage I don't want. What if I tried it there? That's only a 1% decrease in brightness. Now I could try levels. With levels you can cut off blackness without having to reduce the brightness. It's almost the same image, really. There's not much benefit, but see, watch what happens. This is at minus 1%. I changed that to, let's see, 2%. Excuse me. Okay. Now I've gone one more down. No, it's still one. Hang on a sec. Okay. What would it say on this bloody thing? What is that? 2%. I see it's fractional. Yeah, it's cleaner. It's much cleaner, but it's, well, I can still see the hair, her hair. See, look, before I was losing her hair entirely because it also is very close to that color. Actually, this might be right. And it really, when you get it, when I had it too dark, the keyboard shots were much clearer, but everything else was just so dark it was a waste. But this, it's still got a little bit of the garbage. The keyboard, although it's not really much different, I think it'll come out clear, much clearer than it appears here. Because this doesn't show you exactly what you get. I'm going to try it like this. I'll let you know. I'm going to upload it anyway because it's quite comical to watch, and you might enjoy watching it. I did. You can't take it too seriously because of the drugs and everything, and there's playfulness going on, and it sounds a lot more serious than it is. Okay, well, see you.